That sounds good.
I
That
might
sounds
make
pretty
that, but
good.
I'll have to buy a bunch of chicken, and it's gonna take me a while to eat all that. But I do always reheat it. I tend to make like a whole casserole dish or a
But
whole pot of whatever I make, and then eat
I
it for
don't
like
know.
half a week.
I can't personally eat a lot of chicken, especially not if it's from like a restaurant. I can get it if it's from a butcher, but if it's from a restaurant, I can't eat too much or I get sick. I don't know why.
Well, I don't have your fine upper class stomach.
No, this is not upper class. Like, legitimately,
I'm
we
a
went to a high-end
proletariat
restaurant.
man.
Look, I stand
Still only
fucking
the finest of quail I can eat.
I stand co-ops, but at the same time, like, I went to a high-class restaurant, got served chicken. Next thing I know, when I come home, I'm fucking puking my guts out.
Damn.
I am sure it was because of the chicken.
That's possible. Like, there's some people who have just like sometimes their stomach reacts weird to certain meats. Um,
Yeah.
which is like with
It
chicken, it's
was
sad.
maybe it was walking on a full stomach if your butler wasn't
God,
around to carry you home in your litter.
fuck
Is
you.
is this quail purchased at
Um,
Asda?
can I post some cringy shit?
I mean, sure, if it's not
Ben
safe for work.
Garrison. No. It's not not safe for work. It's Ben Garrison cringy shit.
I know what you're gonna post. It's so good.
Oh god, I want to see it now.
Oh no, it's not even that. It's oh goddamn. Thank you, Cole. I'm gonna read all of your messages later. Uh,
I've got some more. I've
what
got
the
some
fuck
more.
is this?
I
This
don't know.
one. I saw this one. It is so unbelievably stupid.
Wait, yeah, this is. Wait, they're retarded.
I mean, what the
They're
fuck?
they're actually retarded.
Like this could easily be like an anti-Trump comic.
Yeah, exactly.
If
So
it
they,
didn't
they
say Ben
clearly Ben Garrison
Garrison,
knows nothing about fucking Don Quixote. Jesus
yeah.
fucking Christ, they're retarded.
And so apparently this one, this is just the same thing. He just doesn't understand Don Quixote.
No.
Don Quixote de la Mancha, as we,
Don Quixote. Sí, señor.
or as they say in America,
I
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote and his boy Sancho Panza, dude.
Yeah, Don Quixote sounds like a CNN anchor. Hello, my name is
Oh,
Don
Christ.
Quixote, and today we're going to talk about how the Democrats have never done anything wrong, and they're actually very progressive, and I really want to suck on AOC's feet. I mean, that's my other role, Ben Shapiro. It's all
Yeah.
just one guy.
That'd
All
be so
news anchors are
funny.
one person.
It's always
Ben
cringe, my
Shapiro.
dude.
Now, I mean, there's a black guy there as well. So you wanna say that one guy does blackface at some time?
Yeah.
No, right? Sometimes it's Ben Shapiro and blackface. Sometimes it's Ben Shapiro pulling his eyes like a Chinaman. Sometimes he has a drawn-on mustache with Sharpie.
And sometimes he puts on a blonde wig and he's a woman.
All
Mm-hmm.
journalists are Ben Shapiro.
God damn, that's
Yeah.
fucking cringe.
That's why he has so many millions.
Yeah.
It's because journalist jobs usually don't pay very well.
No, this is
Because he's
not
everybody, that's why he earns.
Oh, I was very confused because where's the letters? There's letters missing, but of course it's Joy in chat. It's been under this predicament
God
for a
damn.
while. I love this fucking the social credit Ben Shapiro's one. It's just such a shit post.
Yeah.
Oh god
Yeah,
damn.
you're welcome for the content.
Yeah, I going back to the Ben Garrison thing. I love it when they do shit like that. Or the other one that I always love is when they cite Orwell to be like, "See, socialism's bad," and I'm like,
Yeah.
got a bridge to sell you, buddy, because George Orwell was a socialist.
Oh god. Yeah.
I
it's
unironically respect. I unironically respect Ben Garrison as an artist. He's.
He has a style.
I don't believe that he's serious.
That
don't
is
believe-
that is an amazing conspiracy theory. He's just the
No.
most epic troll.
Yeah.
No, you would have to be. I. It's too good to be true. You would have to be retarded to believe it, in my opinion.
Probably.
Lots of people are retarded.
Oh my god.
Oh my fuck!
Spook.
I
What
cannot
the fuck's his
fucking
name?
stand
Wait, you the
these
meme,
fucking
the
memes.
context for it, the one that Price just posted.
That one is brilliant, dude.
I forgot the dude. What the fuck is his name? That the fucking Black Israelites and Nation of Islam think that invented white people. Akum. I think that's what it is. No.
Is this? Are
Oh
you
my
serious? I think I've heard
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah. It's
before.
Yaqub.
No, not this cringe shit.
No, yeah, I am serious. So the Nation of Islam and the Black Hebrew Israelites believe that Yaqub invented white people in a lab, and he was an evil mad scientist. And I'm not kidding. That's literally what they believe.
Yeah.
Yep. See, Cody knows.
Why would he be evil then? Just literally, Western society is the beacon for any kind of equality generally.
What do you mean?
Compared to any other society that has been there.
What is Western society? What does that mean?
It's generally more
Say,
altruistic
draw me a
than
border.
any other society.
Wait, what do you mean by that though? Like
Compared to other societies, Western society has been better for everyone.
We live in a society.
Not
Wait,
necessarily.
define Western
Yeah.
society, Critter. Unironically, it's a
No.
vague and nebulous concept.
No, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, fascism also
Fucking hang on. Says Western society is
So,
based.
so
Doesn't
you want to
explain
say that,
itself.
that Japanese
Leaves.
people don't believe in ultranationalism then?
No, I'm
Or,
not. No, I'm not
or
saying.
Chinese people.
Wait,
So
hold
you're
up. I'm
saying
saying the
fascism is
exact
ultra.
opposite. Hold up, critter. I'm saying the
Critter.
exact opposite of what you're saying. I'm saying everywhere has had
Yeah.
good and bad societies, and I don't think that there's
Yes.
one place that you can point to and be like, "Well, look at this beacon."
Now,
I would say that a lot of
hang on.
Americans
Why are so
probably
many people
more altruistically.
Hang on.
The very
Can I
supposition
just
that there's
add-
such a thing
can-
as Western society
Yeah, and also
is
that too. Yeah.
fucking
Can I
unfathomably
just say,
stupid over
for a
information.
rumored Western society, if there is such a thing as Western society, which
Yeah.
personally I do believe there is one, but it's probably a different definition for you, Critter. No offense. But
I don't
the
care.
thing is, I genuinely believe that out of all the societies we currently have, Western society is a better society relatively from all the other societies we have.
Yes, that's what I
However,
said.
there's a big but here. However, to achieve that relatively better status, we've done a lot of shit things. We've done a
Yes,
lot
so
of bad
have
things
every other
that
society.
Can we? I had a bit that I sent to Anfash earlier.
Oh, the peanut butter
Has
one.
done
Yeah. And
crappy
how
shit
about
to
how
grow.
about this? Right? It's like an Indian guy. And he wants a PB and J sandwich, but he says I want a PP and gay sandwich.
Yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
I think that's a really funny bit that
I
we
want
should.
a PP and gay sandwich.
Yes, hello,
I
I
want a
would-
PP and gay sandwich.
I would like a PP and gay sandwich, please. With the rind cut off.
Would
I
you
would
want to
like
be in
the
any
full
other
skin
society
cut off.
currently? That's my question.
I-
Would you want to be in any other society?
Oh
What do
my
you mean?
God.
Would I want to? I would. What do you mean? I would love to
Well,
be a
compared
Dutch.
to existing societies that currently exist,
Burger,
would you want to be in any
burger.
other than Western?
Okay.
Yeah.
Surely
Well, it
we
depends
can
on your
all
definition of
strongly
Western.
agree that we live in a society.
No,
What do you
I don't
mean?
actually think.
Wait. I'm still just confused because I don't consider the Americas like you garbage people in Europe like at all. Like I don't think we're the same societally. So
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
obviously we are
there
superior
is-
to the United States, but
Oh
I
my
mean,
fuck.
so is everyone
yeah,
else.
well, you people like tits
No.
overall, and
I
that's
don't think that
fucking
we're the
retarded,
same
so,
society as the fucking English.
Yeah,
Here's another one
English
for you guys.
societies are basically the toilet of Western society.
I haven't even been here for 2 weeks, and I am already a Highlander. This is my decision.
And you're not even in the Highlands. It's like
I don't care. I don't give a
you,
shit.
it's like you live. It's
You're
like you
northern,
live in
man.
New
You'll always
York
be a
and start
northerner.
talking like a
Burger.
southerner.
Burger. I have already converted to Catholicism.
based in Field. Let's go.
I thought you said religion was gay.
God damn.
But don't let me hold you to archaic standards.
No, religion is gay unless it's the Catholic Church and
Yeah.
the Celtic football or the Rangers, whichever way around.
You're
Do you
fucking
mean the
Catholic,
Catholic
you
or the
fucking bastard.
Anglican Catholic Church?
What?
The Anglicans are not
Oh.
Catholic. They're Christians, but
sorry.
they're not Catholic.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but that
Christians.
was incredibly cringe.
Yeah, that
is
was
an incredibly
okay.
cringe, my dude. Despite the fact that, may I remind you, Critter, our nations have been at war for multiple times for religious reasons.
Okay, here's the
Yeah.
thing, though, right? This is my take, and it's
Never
also a
ending show.
take of a character that I wrote once. England and France, Britain and France, right? You know how in like primary school and middle school also, when you had like two people, usually like a little boy and a little girl who kind of into each other, and so they would like fight all the time to get each other's attention? That's England and France.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
people are gay.
As someone who has who is a fucking mudblood,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you're the love
Half
child of
French-
the fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. I can just say it's like yes, that statement is incredibly
you
true.
You were conceived in a gas station in the English Channel.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there is
a
a
lorry
huge,
gas station.
there is a bit of a difference between like the culture of the islands and like continental Europe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the islands, man.
The islands more.
1-1 by D-boy.
Right there.
Oh,
I
God
tell ya.
damn.
Hey, let's go to Chippo, man. I don't fucking know. I can't do Jamaican.
It's how about it's like Jamaican
Reggae
cuisine, right? But it's
man, you
British
know?
dishes.
Isn't that Jamaican cuisine?
No, Jamaican
we have
cuisine is
a
fucking
Jamaican restaurant.
tremendous.
It's
Yeah,
delicious,
it's-
but a
yeah,
lot
it
of
is.
hold up, wait,
But
it's delicious.
imagine,
but a lot of
imagine
it's very,
it's like it's the same,
British
aesthetic
inspired.
and people and all that, but it's all like English dishes, like jellied eel and shit.
Dude, no, but some of the ones that they did though that they took from the English are fucking delicious. Like Jamaican meat patties, their meat pies are so fucking good. Oh my god.
I mean, that's the thing, though. They steal shit from the English and they make them good. Then, right?
Yeah. They make spotted dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's Spotted Richard. We are here. We are in the British Isles here. Goddamn. Yeah, it's really.
Does anybody know why Dick is short for Richard? Like, why?
That is.
Maybe there was a guy called Richard who fucking sucked.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
Fucking. That's a very simple explanation for it. Probably not very accurate though.
Yeah, but what if it is?
fuck?
That would be cool. That would be cool.
That would be
Probably
extremely
some
lit.
king named Richard or something.
We've had multiple kings named Richard, to be honest.
Who
Good
the
old
fuck would trust a
How about-
motherfucker named Richard to be king? Right
about,
there, that's suspect enough.
How about Nichard?
Yeah.
That's a
No, wait, no, you can't say that, but you can say Nietzsche, all right?
So
Oh boy, that's a
D.
British
the
word. You
internet
can't use
tells
it, you
me
bloody cunts.
is
Oi,
that
if you want to use the word, you use it without the hard RD.
that Richard
get it?
was written
fucking
as a
report you.
Rick because everything was in writing in the 13th century. People just wrote their names short, so it was Rick.
Well, it could be Rick,
And then,
maybe
they,
maybe the letter
rhymed
R
it.
looks like a D.
the writing was common. So
Wait, I just had the idea to get Cetor to do the pickle
Yeah.
Rick scene in Middle
Yeah, I'm
English,
pretty
just to
sure.
make the world worse.
I'm pretty sure
That's what the
in
internet
old
tells me.
English it was called a D's.
Oh no,
No, they didn't say that. They said the Leafla.
Rick gave way to
Nice.
Dick and Hick.
Oh,
They
damn.
really should call him Dick Nixon, but like Hick Nixon. God damn.
Yeah, that'd be
Christ,
big.
that's bloody annoying.
Hitch the Date Doctor becomes like Dick the Date Doctor. Which
Oh my
is
God.
then because it's the plot changes where the main character just he fucks Will Smith. That's the
Why? That's
because
my only
he's
question.
gay.
Like, why?
Because he's gay.
Because the
That's
gays,
the
son.
that's the entire joke. That's the whole premise of the 2 hours and 10 minutes that will be
he's
filmed.
the premise is the main character is gay.
And he fucks Will Smith.
Yeah, that's
Ew.
yeah.
It should be a really serious movie, and then at the end, it's just the moral. It just turns out to be that.
Yeah,
The moral of the
I Am
story is that
Legend,
men
and then
are
at the end,
easy.
the monster comes into the room and he fucks Will Smith.
all men are secretly gay is the
Yep. That's the truth of it.
It's a conspiracy. The reason that so many of them don't admit it is because the CIA is paying all to suppress it. Because if they all admitted they're gay, then nobody would have better.
How about this though, right? The CIA gay. That's why they want to do it, is because they want to keep everyone gay. Is the CIA gay?
Oh my God, that's
But what if
cringe.
the NSA gay too, and CIA and NSA are gay together?
The NS gay. It's just that's what Edward Snowden exposes is they're all gay.
Explain why they didn't want to come.
There's some weird sounds coming from someone. I'm not sure who
I'm
it is.
sorry. That was probably me. I was talking to my mom.
Okay.
And it's done now. So.
Okay. Yeah, this is a tremendous podcast. What other things? How about The Sopranos, but it's gay?
I mean, these are fake.
Sopranos?
They should
No,
have
that doesn't work.
had a whole subplot where I have an idea for a subplot on The Sopranos, right? So one of the guys, maybe one of the captains, right? It turns out that he's actually like gay. Somebody finds this out, and Tony he runs away because Tony doesn't really. He's like, well, he's a good earner. I don't really care that he likes to suck dick, but it's it is what it is. And there's certain rules in the mafia, and so the guy he goes to New England, and he just a small town, and he meets the guy at the waffle store, the diner. And the guy is a biker also, and then they have gay sex, and then eventually the mafia guys catch up to him and murder him. And I think that would be I think that would be a very cool subplot that was lacking in The Sopranos. That they didn't
You feel
have.
like mafiosos would be very out of place in New England. You could make some interesting stuff out of that.
Yeah, that's part of the thing, where he's like, "Hey, fucking, give me some maple syrup over here," and he's like, "Well, we're not."
You could do an episode where they go to Salem.
Yeah,
and they do a Catholicism while they're all doing the witch thing.
Yeah.
When September, when it turns late August, he starts complaining about all the tourists coming to watch the leaves change.
Hey, what the fuck is with all these tourists over here?
Yee.
It's like they can't watch a fucking tree turn brown in their own fucking backyard.
This happens in Jersey too. What's the big fucking deal? Yeah, I think that would be a very cool subplot that they should have included in The Sopranos.
Another subplot is they could have a thing with the Irish mafia in Boston.
Yeah,
they could go to a Red Sox game to do a crime thing type deal.
Yeah,
and then the Irish ones are like, no, this is where we do the things.
I have had a different idea for a Sopranos episode where basically there's some sort of nondescript Eastern European guy. He becomes important, and let's say two of the guys, maybe Christopher and fucking the guy, they decide to kill him for some reason, and so they basically take him out to Pine Barrens. But there's very bad cell phone reception out there, and so they get like a call where it's like, yeah, this guy was like a Spetsnaz commando, and then for some reason, Christopher on the phone misunderstands it as an interior decorator. And then they completely misunderstand the situation, and he almost kills them because he's like a trained survivalist in Pine Barrens. Yeah, and then at the end they get rescued, but the guy almost escapes.
Hey, I got a subplot. It's like a Pablo Escobar subplot.
Yeah.
One of them becomes obsessed with hippos and just brings a ton of hippos in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then like a couple decades later, they get loose and they just are just like a menace in New Jersey.
That would actually be funny as shit.
Yeah, then there's more dead New Jersey people. That would be based. Let's do it.
Oh, how about this would be like would it be very cool if they used like in The Sopranos as a framing device, like Tony going to therapy. I think that would have added a lot to the show. And maybe like he falls in love with his therapist. That would be very cool. By which I mean he develops an unhealthy obsession with her.
Yeah, and how about we ultimately do like The Sopranos, but it's shot like a comedy, and then they scrap that and edit it into a serious show.
Yeah, and it's still like noticeable in the first couple episodes that it was supposed to be a comedy, but it's just paced very weird. That would somebody should make that. That would be very funny.
That would, yeah.
If they made that.
And they did.
Which they, of course, they did do.
Yeah, and they should like mention Gabagool all the time.
Yeah. There should be a character who's called Big Pussy for no reason.
Yeah.
What if Tony develops a device that allows him to go between dimensions, and he ropes his grandson into it, and they go on all these adventures, but ends up like really fucking over his grandson, and it kind of fucks him over too. And they just have constant existential crisis.
What if Tony Soprano, the actor, is James Gandolfini?
Damn, that would be a.
But we bring him back from the dead. Now James Gandolfini, not then James.
Bada boom, bada bing. I turn myself
James
into
Gandolfini as a zombie playing himself.
Yeah, and then he's like extremely insecure about his acting. He thinks he's the worst actor of all time, even though he's like a celebrated international superstar.
Oh, yeah, we don't tell him that.
Yeah, that would be very funny.
Yeah, it would especially be funny if he killed himself because of that.
Yeah, that would be. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
What if The Sopranos was just Steve Buscemi? Just like every role is just Steve Buscemi.
That's just Boardwalk Empire.
They should have. They really should have given Steve Buscemi. They should have cast Steve Buscemi in The Sopranos and given him like a maybe like a season arc where maybe he plays Tony's cousin who's like, get this, he's also named Tony, and he comes and gets out of prison and works at like a Korean laundromat. He's trying to get his life back on track, but the mafia life just catches up with him. And he ends up fucking it up and gets killed at the end. That would be a really cool character that they should have included.
Yeah. They should just have Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
What if Tony like there's one episode where he starts having like horrible like bowel problems, and like they think it's like they do an X-ray and it's like this massive tumor.
Yeah.
And so they go to remove it, and they find out he has like a partially absorbed identical twin. And it turns out that like all the decisions he's made has actually been the twin, so the twin becomes like the new boss.
Even better, right? They find this tumor and his family can't finance it, so then Tony has to turn to a life of crime to fix and get the money to pay for the health care. And then he like hires one of his dumbass retarded like Guido like low dudes that knows the streets, and he has to learn it through him. But then he becomes very cold and prideful near the end.
He adopts like a code name of like some Italian physicist, like that he calls himself
Nostradamus.
I'm Galvani.
Yeah.
And that he just becomes Galvani. And then the whole time Carmela is like, oh no, my husband has suddenly become a criminal. And I fucked my accountant friend for some reason that I was working
Yeah.
for, and then
And hey, we don't even have to change the sun because in both shows they're retarded. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, see that is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love they should see this is a subplot that they should to deal with like the racism issues in the mafia. They should have like a character arc where like Meadow is dating not just a black kid but a black Jewish kid. And then
Yes.
Tony's like passive aggressively racist towards him until eventually there's like a confrontation. And he says like something like, I don't know, like I have a lot of black business associates, but they wouldn't want my daughter dating one of their sons either, or one of my sons, one of their daughters. So it's best to keep them separate,
I thought he was gonna say bada bing bada boom. At least I don't have to sit at the back of the cattle car. Hey.
Bugger.
Yeah.
You do realize that this is live and you're giving HBO all of this for free, right?
Yeah, it would be terrible if they just did all that and put it in this. Yeah, that would be fucking horrible.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What we need to talk about is what we dislike, because that seems to be what is currently on TV.
Yeah. What?
The things we hate.
Cody, don't post that fucking mushroom thing in here.
I mean,
Fight me.
What's wrong with Mushroom Jack? I like him.
No.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
No.
But also,
it's so forced. It's so
transparent.
No,
like this is like the Among Us shit, where people are very paranoid about the meme being forced. It is forced so much that it's organic now.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's forced or not, and I might come off as a conspiracy theorist. But I find it really funny that all these Vin Diesel, we're family memes came up at the same time as the new movie was announced.
Yeah, I mean
that point that you just made, that's irony prison bullshit. Right? You could make anything out to be a meme with this.
No.
Yes, that is kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the meme got made before the movie was announced.
You're accelerating us toward the death of. Oh wait, culture's already dead.
No, but what's wrong with the mushroom? He's funny. Like I enjoy it.
No.
I like the mushroom stuff.
You're wrong.
You're
objectively wrong.
I like Shroom Jack.
Hansky, you just need to go out into the forest and like take a very deep breath, and you'll realize that it's a great meme and it's very.
I mean, all I'm saying by fucking Ironfront's logic, like once I started allegedly microdosing, all of a sudden all the mushroom Wojaks are popping up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll go out into the forest and I'll take you with me and I will leave alone. Jesus, it fucking sucks. Terrible meme.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna come back in a few years and then you're gonna see a lot of fascists pop up in the ground and they're all gonna wear mushroom hats and then you're gonna be like, ow!
Did you see the
he turned into a mushroom?
The green text about
turned into a mushroom.
The green text about the guy who thinks that the mushroom Wojak is a fucking demon.
Yeah.
That was from the X board, and that dude's just fucking insane.
X is genuinely my favorite board on 4chan because it's just the insane people on the insane people board.
Yeah, X is my favorite has to be K. K is in a special place in my fucking heart.
No, people don't do fun stuff on that. It's been too long since we've had someone who's gassed themselves.
I don't care about.
It's been a while since.
No. I don't care about guns either. I care about people being stupid.
It's not Gunsburger. K is not guns. It's people with AEIQ and explosives. That's what K is.
Well, I'm also not too interested in explosives. Whereas, like, X.
Are you interested in the results of giving, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like crack.
Yeah.
No, but for real though, K is good. It's natural selection at its finest. It's the Darwin Awards board. That's what it is.
I do love that this just still. I still. It's one of those things where it's like very. Now that Live Leak is closed and all that, it still makes me happy that the internet is a place where just the most insane people can be, because these people have always existed. They just never before were able to post on some like Vietnamese image board about their fucking weird exploits of like shooting at a grenade in their bedrooms.
Yeah, my favorite video was the one Russian live streamer, CS:GO live streamer. He's just like chatting with his stream, and he has his grenade, and he's like talking about how like yeah this grenade's a dud, and like yeah I just picked it up because it like looks cool, and then he goes and he pulls the pin, and it starts popping off. He's like, oh shit, and he just like throws it into the other room, and he just explodes, and he's just like, well shit.
Based.
Goddamn. Oh shit. Yeah, I
There's some
really.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I came upon this world building idea by somebody else today.
Yeah.
Dragon mating rituals.
No.
Oh shit! Have you been reading the Omegaverse? Have you?
No.
But,
No,
but
that
imagine
sounds like a
from
Megaverse
like,
talk.
No, it's like a thing that is just they're the apex predator usually. They're so incredibly powerful, wealthy, and magically inclined. And imagine what they could do with everything in their power to attract a mate. It's not about the sex; it's about all the things that it affects around its surroundings and how it could create an interesting adventure hook.
See, I would
The
think.
No, see, Dread.
One dragon busts a nut and just floods the entire city.
Dude, no. You see, dragons are fucking huge. You gotta get yourself like a kobold or something. Something more human,
Yeah, no, but,
human
like,
sized.
You know how
No,
they.
they
You know
did
how there's like
not
a.
human dragon, but dragon.
You
Oh,
know
you just
how-
want to watch dragons fuck.
No, it's about how to get. It's about the
about the
dance.
romance.
It's not about the sex. Yes.
How
Yeah, I mean-
about you have like dragons for pretty much any element, right? You have like fucking copper dragons, blue dragons, green dragons, ice
You even
dragons.
have
How about
two for fire?
you have a sperm dragon,
Yeah, sperm dragon.
like a cum? And you like.
I was literally just thinking about that, right? He's got
my God.
balls that are like massive ammo canisters,
Yeah.
and it's just like a pressure hose.
Like the
He goes
fucking
around.
like the neck with the dragon's head on is actually just like a penis.
See,
Yeah.
now all I'm
He just
thinking
goes around hosing down buildings,
Honestly,
fucking leveling them.
if dragons were real, they'd probably do the same shit that killer whales do, raping seals and shit like that. That's probably how it really.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
They'd be like John McAfee.
yeah.
Oh,
John McAfee
Christ.
raping whales.
By the way, fucking goddamn, rip John McAfee, I guess.
Oh no, he's dead. Darn.
He's just a
debt.
billionaire. He was pretty lit as a guy, but also is like he's a billionaire. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm so sad.
I think he was a legend, and I respected his legendness, but like let's be honest, he was kind of a piece of shit.
He also kind of
Yeah.
sort of murdered someone. So
I mean, who hasn't?
yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about like cum dragons and stuff. That actually got me thinking about how there are those moths that have adapted their wing coloring to match pollution created by industry.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the earliest example of like significant evolutionary adaptation due to industrialization. Yeah.
Well, what if you had a dragon that, due to environmental pressures caused by humans, just started like consuming industrial waste and using industrial waste?
A nuclear dragon.
Basically.
Yeah, like a toxic they live in like in the cooling ponds of like nuclear reactors,
Yeah, like
or they live in like Cleveland. You
Base.
know?
Yeah, sometimes they like sometimes they
a
like
better
lay their
idea,
eggs in the
they-
cooling pools.
They
and
live at the
it
bottom
causes
of the
problems.
ocean, and the radiation gets to them, and then they come out, and then they fucking vaporize Japan. How about that?
Oh yeah,
nuclear
yeah. We
dragon.
already have that dragon. Yeah, I forgot Godzilla exists.
Yeah. It basically, I mean, if you think
but
about it,
he's
it's
not like
basically
I'm talking like the kind of fan. I'm not like the kind of the dragons that are like the fantasy ones who can think and all that shit. A nuclear
Godzilla
one
can
would
think.
be very interesting. I also like the drakes, the kind of. I should do a system agnostic class of species for like monsters.
Burger. I know you don't play Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
But in Monster Hunter Rise, there's a monster that's essentially a dragon. That it's one of the like top tier like flying monsters, and the way it does that is it's adapted its fire breathing capability, and it's like evolved and adapted it to it literally has like jet engines. So when you go to fight it, when you're finally able to go fight it and it flies over you, it sounds like a fighter jet just like flying right over you and shit. It's so dumb and amazing.
Yeah, it's probably not an ambush predator, but it's it's pretty.
Speaking of that reminded me, and this is old, but like still, I just love watching this video. Did you guys see the fucking jetpack that the British military created? They have now.
I've seen this.
It's so fucking cool, dude. We live in the future. It's crazy. Like I see shit like this, and I'm like, holy shit! This is like some Iron Man shit, dude.
I mean, especially the military has a bunch of like very interesting toys that I actually think like NASA should have.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking, and they actually
I know
are
this.
with the jetpack, like this would be great for first responders and shit like that to get to places.
Yeah,
I think that'd be the most applicable use.
I found out the other day that in the 90s, the U.S. Army. My source for this is a Wikipedia, so take it with like a salt mine. But apparently they tried to make the smart gun from Alien. You know, the one where it's got like the robot arm that's attached to your belt.
Yeah.
And it shoots the they made that.
Wait,
that
this jetpack is like with air? I thought it was one of those water jetpacks. This is unbelievable.
I know! It's a proper jetpack, dude. Shit's
that is crazy.
Yeah, that's great for like a fire rescue.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, dude, like firefighters and first responders and shit to get to places that like their vehicles can't. Like, yeah.
You people are thinking too small. You just give it to the Mujahideen. They'll find a funny use for it.
Oh jeez. Oh, speaking of Afghanistan, how like the U.S. military just literally just like said bye and just like abandoned Bagram without telling the Afghani army about it.
I love that, like, after all these years of not managing to establish like a lasting peace, the way they pull out is specifically the most damaging way possible.
Base.
Like, well, because they didn't tell the army, so like a bunch of looters came in and just like stole everying.
So U.S. Army supplies?
There's
been a shitload of threads on K over the last couple of days of pictures of like Taliban personnel just stood over fucking piles of
not only that, but they made them stronger.
That's what we always do.
Yeah. It's so. Holy shit! The degree of incompetence in this.
They left like fucking half-empty supply depots and shit there.
Oh my god. Dude.
Yeah, they said there was like everything from ammunition to energy drinks were just left behind.
Yeah, guys, come on. There's no oceans we can just dump it in next to there, so you know.
I think like the biggest middle finger to the Afghan army was we left all the vehicles there, but we took the keys. Like, we're gonna come back.
Wait. But I thought, and I could be wrong, but I thought most of the military vehicles don't have keys. It's like a button.
No, that was a specific thing with patent M60s because that
No,
one
no, no, no.
that one crackhead stole one.
I've been on like the National Guard bases around here and shit, and most of their like their vehicles like have a 2-button start system.
Yeah, like MRAPs and shit, but not fucking tanks.
Well, no, like no, that one picture of the parking lot where it's just like Ford pickups and like transit vans. Those are just regular cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But they took the keys out. we're gonna be back to pick those up. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
It's just gonna end up being like fucking the Taliban who get someone who could like fucking hotwire cars who steals them. It's not gonna be the Afghan army because the Afghan army can have political repercussions. This is insane. It is insane that this happened.
I would be willing to bet that the only thing that they didn't leave behind was like MREs and shit.
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh, no,
Why would I leave my jalapeno cheddar behind, dude?
Actually, they did leave the MREs behind.
No,
that's fair enough then.
No, it's
because
not.
I remember reading one where it's they were complaining that they couldn't eat like a good portion of them because they had like pork in it. So it's like,
bro, they spent 30 years developing MRE pizzas only for them to be left in fucking Afghanistan. Fuck that, dude.
Steve MRE reviewed the pizza MRE, and he said while it's an amazing accomplishment in food technology, it's still not that good.
Well, yeah, but it's funny that the military spent 30 years of R&D making MRE pizza. So,
I mean, yeah.
How long do you think they spent on the fucking jalapeno cheese?
Oh my, it's so good. The jalapeno cheese is so good.
Chili Mac is still my favorite MRE. That's
no, dude.
Over here, I think I still have some of these in the attic that I stole from cadets back when I did that. But we have like these packets of powder. There's like a million fucking flavors, and you pour them into water and you mix them, and it's like a really strong energy drink, and it's just a ridiculous amount of it in a tiny packet.
You mean probably an energy drink that's so strong maybe you shouldn't be drinking it unless you're like a soldier?
No, I don't fucking care if it's got meth in it. It tastes like strawberry.
Yo, Mr. White. We're gonna make strawberry meth.
Do the British MREs still have like Yorkie bars in them, or did they take those out? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they took those out when women were allowed to join the army because Yorkies.
Yeah, because last I heard, Yorkie bars aren't for girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Ant Fashion had
it's specifically in the MOD regulation
about
you're not allowed
Black.
to use
Walter Black, yeah.
The Walter Black.
Walter Black who makes crack, dude.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Mr. Black, you can't just go around saying that shit. You're white. Shut up, Jesse. I'm black now.
It's literally just Walter White in blackface.
Yeah, and he makes crack
Yeah, man.
That was,
but you also got to remember the U.S. Army still they're still actively developing and trying to figure out how to perfect the jungle bar because they're still like on that. They still want to make
jungle bar.
Jungle bar was really big in World War II in Vietnam, where it's like we want to make a chocolate bar that won't melt, no matter what, but still tastes like milk chocolates. And
which it doesn't.
Their current iteration is called like the desert bar, because obviously our theater of war has changed, so now we gotta focus on,
Don't they have M&Ms though? Wasn't that the entire point of M&Ms being developed? Like,
yeah, but it's not like a bar unless you encase a chocolate bar in the M&M. Why don't they just do that?
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking stupid.
How about it's N and N's?
Oh, hey.
Hey, oh, you can't say that shit.
Wait, what does
Bubba.
it? Wait, Burger. I have a question.
Ends.
What does NNN stand for? What does NNN stand for?
It's like Mars and Myers or something. Oh yeah.
Nutrition.
That's a no fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a nut-based M&M. It's called NNN. That's
Yeah, NNN, dude.
Is that what the yellow bag is?
That's like I think I should work for a marketing company for some of these places, right? Like a Monster has a coffee energy drink called Mean Bean, right? And I think they should make one with more caffeine called Meaner Beaner. I think that would work. This is what the people want.
Or because there are a lot of Hispanic speakers in the United States. They should probably bring some of their flavors from south of the border. Especially like the ones that involve the word black.
Yeah. But also more of their flavors like cocaine flavored.
That would be very popular at Wall Street.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There is an energy drink called cocaine.
Yes.
Wait,
I
really?
think Pablo Escobar, speaking of him, since everything goes back to him today, also got a bunch of scientists to develop old school Coca-Cola for him in a lab with cocaine and shit in it.
What?
Yeah, all right. He's forgiven of all his crimes then. He's made a contribution to the public.
People waste their money on space exploration, and other billionaires put money into like making actual cocaine Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
A true hero. Ah, goddamn. Oh fuck. I had such a good bit. No, it wasn't actually a good bit. Here's the thing. Here's a very serious note. Speaking of cocaine, I think in like 100. You know how today we look back at people 100 years ago, going, "Why did they do cocaine over like a toothache? What the fuck was that all about?"
Because they were awesome.
Did they not have any sort of regulation, self-regulate? Why did they like inject heroin? Because they were feeling sad. And I think this is what's going to happen with social media. I think people in 100 years are going to go, they had Twitter? What the fuck?
Why do they inject heroin when they're sad? Burger, that's what it's fucking for, you damn fool. What did you think it was?
What was wrong with these people?
I'd rather just go
They're going to learn what Twitter was and just going to be like, ew, holy shit.
I really look forward to when
degenerates.
Like future historians in like 200, 300, maybe 400 years find out about the Cometown podcast.
Oh my god, that's gonna be
the last vestige of human civilization will just be Cometown.
I'd love to. I dreamt about this once, where there was like the humanity was completely destroyed, but there was like a satellite still broadcasting, and it was just like all Cometown episodes on the loop. This is the pinnacle of human achievement.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna make a religion around it. Dasha's gonna be literally the devil, you know.
Yeah.
Like the archive that like in the game Soma, it's like the rest of humanity was wiped out in Soma, and like the archive you launch into space is just full of like Chapel Trap House and Cometown and fucking Sleepy Cabin.
So just like the shamans of that civilization start doing like the voices to like go to communicate with the spirits. You start talking like this because the spirits are in him. They just don't even understand what's being said.
Oh.
They have like the Vouch fable where it's like, so you're on an island with coconuts and this other guy shows up. And it's supposed to be like some salient tale of morals. Going back to like the 1800s and shit. I do love how like back then you could like oh, my stomach hurts. I'm gonna go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, sounds like demons. Here's a prescription for cocaine.
Yeah, that's lit.
Telegram,
I respect
telegram
that.
me next week.
Yeah, I respect that though, big time. I'd love for my doctor to just like give me a prescription for cocaine, because like I'm
Back
low
in the
energy
good old
and
days.
I need to be able to like do more work to function in this capitalist hellhole society. And he just gives me cocaine. That would be pretty fucking lit.
Based.
Back in the good old
Kind of
days,
like-
when the abortion clinic was just a staircase to nowhere, and the gender clinic was just a guy with a hatchet.
Yeah.
Nice.
I heard this come down a bit earlier. That was because we were talking about hoteps earlier. It's like reverse hoteps, whereas like Israelites who pretend to be like actually the first ghetto people were the Wu-Tang Clan. The 7 kings of the Wu-Tang Clan were actually the Jewish kings of Israel. Oh, goddamn. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, so I've
hey
been
there, Brady. Welcome to chat. I hope you're having a good time. And yeah, it's the Radiotropic Dragon. That's actually a hell of a good name for the nuclear dragon.
Lol.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
So I've been reading this.
Shit,
I've been reading this alternate history sort of like document for this setting. That's probably one of the most fucked up ones I've ever read thus far. That doesn't involve like the Confederacy or Nazis.
Yeah.
It's called Green Antarctica, and the premise is it's an absurd one because Antarctica is habitable. It has trees and forests and shit, and it's populated like its animal population. It's all like marsupials. And
oh, that one.
Yeah, and the founding like humans land on Antarctica from Australia like 35,000 years ago, but the thing is like the founding population was 3 women, a young male, and an older male, but the older male was a sociopath and a schizophrenic. So because of that, and also just with the brutal with how brutal Antarctica is, like climates and with the sun and night and all that, it just basically causes it sets up the entire Antarctic civilization just to be like the Aztecs on steroids. Like
Yes.
but what makes it so dark is like they're like when they're discovered like in the 19th century, you know, they're like a modern society. They have like they've had an industrial revolution. They have like philosophers and you know they're an enlightened society, but they also like do shit like human sacrifice and cannibalism and all this fucked up shit. And they only realize that hey, there's maybe something bad happened to us when they see like all the other like they see like Europe and North America, and they're like, oh, you guys don't eat people?
You don't hear like voices all the time, is it?
Yeah.
What is
well,
wrong with you?
What is wrong with you people?
And there's no like like there is cosmic horror, but it's more of like they like the Antarcticans have a real fear of the color whites because there's still massive glaciers on Antarctica.
Yeah.
And their religion developed around the idea that God created these glaciers, and because of that, it proves that God doesn't care about humans because he created something so horrible. Or the gods, either God or God, they have different religions. It's a whole entire continent, so there's different religions. But the general like devil is God, and God is the glacier, and the glacier is just pure evil, and so it's like they hate the color white, and they also there's also like there's like references to Lovecraft, like, but there's no like Lovecraftian monsters or anything. It's just like the mindset that the Antarcticans have of just like we're nothing. You know, the universe doesn't care about us. If there are gods, they don't give a shit about us. You know, and we're just on our own.
Yeah, that is.
And I just
cool as hell.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that. That's a cool setting.
And like you read through the histories, and there's like legends they have of like great wars and stuff, and they just have like really fucked up names. Like there's like there's like one legend of like the Starvation Army, and it's just like this tale of how a great famine swept through a part of Antarctica, and the army was just literally people who were just starving to death, just like moving to the next village just to kill and eat everything.
Jesus.
And it was called it was called the Starvation Army. They have there's one civilization where they have what's called sunken cities, and it was because they figured out pretty quickly that coal is something that they need just to stay warm. So they figured out how to use and they figured out how to use coal like very early on. And one civilization, they ran out of surface coal, so they started mining for coal, and they quickly figured out, hey, during the wintertime, when it gets really cold on the surface, the temperature doesn't really drop that much in the mines, so why don't we just live in the mines? And so that they have like these sunken cities that have like 2 or 3 million people just living underground.
That is kind of cool, though.
Yeah. I will preface it is a very dark alternate history just because of the whole premise of like the religion had the founding population, and just like when you put humans in a world where for 6 months it's daylight and for 6 months it's night, and then you also have all these marsupials who are like are just incredibly violent, just due to them trying to survive. They're just like incredibly hardy, incredibly tough, incredibly violent animals that they somehow domesticated. It's just like, you see some really fucked up shit.
I can imagine.
Damn, that is a wild setting. It's it's the kind of stuff that like it has a very niche audience, but there's so much like love and like interesting shit put into it that it's really a shame that it's not like a big even mainstream thing.
I think the latest thing the author did was he did sort of like a fake Reddit AMA where he wrote out like an AMA where it's like, hey, I'm an Antarctican. I'm a young Antarctican. You know, I go to college in Buenos Aires, Argentina, because after Antarctica and the rest of the world meet up, Antarctica does some more messed up stuff to the rest of the world. But that's I'm not gonna jump into that. But it's like, there's this Antarctican college student living in Buenos Aires, and he does like an AMA, and he's talking about like, back at home, I'm part of, I helped found the Anti-Cannibalism League. We're really trying, we understand that like what happened to us, it is not something that we should, necessarily, we shouldn't be proud of everything that we've done, and we're trying to correct ourselves. And it's like, we've managed to get, a couple restaurants in a couple cities to remove, human flesh off of menus and out of grocery stores and stuff. We're trying our best, and it was just like a really, really kind of funny but twisted sort of AMA that he wrote out.
So this is a thing from Mass Effect that I remember, because like the Batarians in Mass Effect are slavers, right? They practice slavery. And there was, I remember this. This is like one of the speaker announcements in Mass Effect 2, where you walk through I think it's Omega, and there's like, oh yeah, the Batarians are now suing the Citadel Council over the exclusion of the Batarians from the Council because of the slavery that they practiced. Because the slavery that they practice is their cultural heritage. Like you can't stop us from doing slavery. This is something that we have been doing for thousands of years, and it's racist that you don't let us do slavery. And I found that to be a very interesting conundrum.
Yeah, that's
Because obviously, like you can make the argument that like okay, you do slavery, but you can only enslave Batarians. But then you're basically saying that from a perspective of like your own species morality, the Batarians are like a second-class species because you're saying, well, you can't enslave my species, which is even though we're just as sapient, we are somehow like more important. We deserve more moral rights than your species are based because I don't like the Batarian slaves are not happy being slaves. Like it's not a you know, they're not like,
No,
oh, this
no.
is such a great cultural practice that we're all part of.
You could just say you can't join our group because you're doing this, and it doesn't matter if it's racist.
Yeah, no, but that's like the
You can
point
say
that
anything you
that's
want.
the
You just can't join the group.
that's the point that that court case is apparently trying to make is that you can't because I mean I suppose the Citadel law has like laws against cultural racism and shit.
That's what like the
Cringe.
EU with Hungary currently.
Yeah, that's a very interesting situation, the whole EU Hungary thing, because like there's been like like actual EU leaders are personally angry with Orban.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
saw this
not a
interview
lot,
with
though.
Virgil.
That's because he's a fucking mafioso.
He is,
He
yeah.
he runs a construction racket. That's his thing.
Like the president of Luxembourg was like, "What the fuck?" Like he actually screamed at him in
But he's
fury.
gay, so
He is gay.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
wait, isn't because I don't know much about the whole thing with Hungary, but is he the guy who took like EU funds and like built shit in his hometown?
Yeah, he built
For, like,
the
his
entire
youth?
stadium that fits over 10,000 people for a town of like 2,000 people or something.
Oh,
was
jeez.
funny.
He
It
is
was
fucking
funny.
crazy.
Yeah.
And like
If
he
it
also
wasn't
has, like,
real
this whole
life, it'd
thing
be really
going.
cool. But
He also
Are
has
there-
this whole thing going where it's like it's he's trying to make out like Hungary is this ancient nation that people have been around for thousands of years and all this shit, and it's like he's weirdly tied it into Catholicism, and it's very fashy. It's unusual.
I mean, it's Orban. He's like a third world dictator, but in Hungary.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, and I there's this like Merkel was like, why the fuck are you doing this? What the fuck is wrong with you? And like, yeah, the president the thing is, I mean, there is no process by which you can exclude it. Like, you can't kick someone out. Some actually have said, maybe you should consider leaving the EU. Have you thought about that?
Dutch Prime Minister said
that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Is there a provision in the EU where
No.
they can just
Can't
Okay,
kick
that's-
someone out. But even if you
Yeah.
could, it would fall under the membership shit, which would require the approval of all member states, and Poland always has Hungary's back when it comes to be like
And
far
other
right
way around.
bullshit. Yeah, and Poland is
This-
also trying to. They also want to implement a law like the one in Hungary.
the EU is just the Hotel California.
Yeah, I mean you could leave, but you can't be made to leave.
Yeah.
It's some fucking bullshit, innit?
I mean,
Yeah,
Orban
it's
just needs money and votes to become president again. He's doing weird bullshit, which I really hate, but he's doing it for
I mean-
popularity. Much sense.
Well, when Hungary
piece of
joined the
space.
EU, it wasn't like that, was it?
It kind of was. There's a lot of people who were like, maybe we
Oh.
shouldn't let some of these Eastern European countries join because they're like extremely racist and homophobic. But it wasn't as bad as it is now. Like, it changed. Orban has a huge property. Like, he owns basically all the media. He's like an ANCAP dictator in many ways. He's like a
He started out with
mafioso.
he started out with an oil business as well.
Yeah.
The
He's an
fucking
oil
cherry on top.
Australia, but just this one guy.
In Minecraft, allegedly.
Something
Well,
in my
I mean, Bulgaria and Romania, they're part of the EU, aren't they? They're not doing too bad, are they?
I think Romania's part of the EU. I actually don't know.
Romania's got all the
No, it is. I'm fairly sure. I'm fairly certain.
I always get very confused when it comes to.
Let me check.
Romania, Bulgaria, both part of the EU. Yeah, but it's. I mean, yeah, the different. They're not as like they don't have the same kind of right wing problems that Hungary is a very unique. I mean, it's not a very unique case, but it is a somewhat unique case. Like, it's really the Orban really it was basically took over the He wrote like a perfect storm. He like basically owns like his family owns most of the major media outlets. He has a lot of like political power consolidated in him because a lot of the cronies that he has are like very loyal to him. And the main thing that he did was he has like a very, very powerful and effective propaganda machine. And it's basically refugees bad.
Of course.
That's like the big one.
Except, ironically enough, Hungary has a massive fucking problem with qualified young people leaving the country.
Yeah, of course, because like none of the like young and educated people who went to like university and shit want to stay in Orban land. Nobody wants to fucking do that shit because he's a piece of shit.
See, this is why old people shouldn't have suffrage.
I've heard about the Hungarian doctors in the West being the thing. Yeah.
They have a big structural problem with what was it? They have I forget. There's something about like renting and buying. Like the standard there is not renting but buying apartments. But those apartments,
I think it's leases.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird structural issue with real estate. Which is why young people don't want to live there anymore because all the construction is bullshit. And basically, what'll happen when someone dies who has an apartment, and they leave it over to you, it doesn't matter how like expensive it is. You can't sell it basically because no one will buy it. And also, it's gonna be a huge money sink because you need to
you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And there's like no development because all of the construction companies are just like sickeningly corrupt. Literally some of the worst business practices in the fucking world in terms of the construction industry go down in Hungary.
That's why a lot of companies are going there.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just saying it's like a strongman dictator situation, but it wasn't like this when Hungary joined the EU. I mean, there were concerns that something like this might happen, but it wasn't like this.
Well, it's like when I remember when way back when the Soviet Union collapsed and Belarus like first became independent, and I remember they had that white and red flag, and it was just like. There was like a lot of hope for like Belarus to become like a progressive, like modern European state, and then somehow in like the late '90s, it just all unraveled, and now we have Lukashenko and the nostalgic for a time that never existed Belarus. You know.
Yeah, it's really it's pretty fucked up. The whole area. There is a theory that someone one of my German podcast co-hosts posited this theory. So even back then, it was known that like Eastern European countries are very like conservative, in their cultural values, they would all like the ruling parties would all join in terms of like the EU bloc. They would join the Conservatives. And there is a theory that the reason that like Western European like politicians who were conservative pushed so hard to get these countries in there was so that on an EU level they could make sure that there was a conservative majority. And so the EU resolutions that get passed would get passed like it basically just increase because you have so the EU Parliament you have like political parties in different countries. You know how you have like analogs of political parties in various different countries? Like a lot of countries have the Green Party, for instance, but it's different parties.
Yeah.
That's basically the EU has its own
You mean a
Green
coalition?
Party. Where like you have green politicians from like Germany and the Netherlands and all the different countries, and they have their own Green Party on an EU level, and so but like the conservative ones then would gain more stronger voice if these Eastern European countries joined, and the Eastern European countries also were very big on neoliberalism. So
is UKIP being in the EU? That was the funniest.
Yeah,
UKIP is fucking dead. But
it was just funny for that it was in the EU. It was basically like, yeah, we're gonna just destroy this relationship and just make money off of it for ourselves.
It was
depressing. I see. You got me thinking about how over here, like the one Republican. Like the one stupid Republican talking point is like, yeah, well, the Democrats, fought for slavery and they were the racist ones. I'm surprised they haven't updated that to be like, well, look at the Democrats in Sweden. They're like far right fascists.
The Sweden Democrats.
That's what you get with the Democrat Party.
I watched Lincoln the other day, the movie with fucking the one actor who can do any role. It was very good.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
It was
Will Smith.
Lincoln, Blinken.
Morgan Freeman would unironically make a good Abraham Lincoln in whiteface.
He would play it very well.
Yeah.
No, just leave him black. That'd be
better. Of course. Just don't comment on it.
Do like what they did with Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Just through the whole thing.
Never a younger black person for that. That's funnier. It's like
it was a political drama too, so it was like mostly focused on like making laws and elections and shit like that, which I like courtroom dramas too. I love that shit.
Like, actually remind me, I got a copy of it. I've been meaning to watch it. I got a copy of it's either Guess Who's Back or Look Who's Back, that one German film where Hitler's...
It kind of fucking sucks,
to
be honest.
It's not, like, super terrible. It's not great either.
I'm wondering if the book might be... I wonder if the book might be better.
Yeah, Mein Kampf. The book version of it.
Oh, but speaking of like corrupt state corporations, how about that shitty render of like a massive fire in the Gulf of Mexico, like in the ocean?
That was insane.
It looked like
yeah.
I saw that. I was like,
it looked pretty fucking cool. To be fair.
I mean, yeah, it looked cool, but it looked fake. It just
end effect. It looked like the thing from Evangelion. That's my entire take.
It's the literal ocean was on fire, and this isn't like the first time that this happened. This is not the first time this happened.
No, well, this is the first time we've caught it on film, and like, but yeah, that was a Pemex oil rig, the Mexican state-owned oil company. They're the ones who gave us that.
Thank you for that, Pemex. I'm sure
fuck
artists all over the
Pemex.
world are happy with having seen very impressive reference material now.
Unironically, thank you.
Yeah.
You look really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Extremely based. I congratulate you for setting the ocean on fire.
Yeah, extremely
This is like some evergreen level shit.
Lit.
The Ever Given released. The Ever Given was released from the Suez Canal, and it is now it is now still floating in near Port Said, but it is in in the Mediterranean again.
Egypt anchored it because they wanted somebody to pay for the damage.
Yeah, and it ended up being the Japanese who paid for it, like the Japanese Carrier Corporation.
Put it through the Panama Canal.
Yeah. They still didn't find out.
Why,
it's still not public who is actually at fault, and I don't think it's ever going to come out. I hope it never comes out because whoever that was, because they will get murdered. Like that person will legitimately get murdered.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair point.
Well, I would say it's also partly on the canal builders because they literally did.
Yeah, but that's a bit too abstract. Like it needs to be like you can pin it on someone or a group of people.
Don't they hand the ship over to an Egyptian pilot when it goes into the canal?
I was under this impression too. So in which case also he might already be dead.
Well, it's sort of like I think it's a lot like the Lebanon explosion. The Beirut explosion, where it's just like a lot of people fucked up. A lot of people fucked up. Yeah.
But, I mean, it just needs to be a nice narrative where you can like put it on someone.
Yeah, everybody wants like a simple bad guy.
Because it would be like a revenge murder by extremely rich people. That would be what it would. But because somebody lost billions on this, and he's just
definitely.
Yeah.
And
that'd be so funny if it was like Bezos against Musk. Like,
they'd hire Agent 47 to do their dirty work.
Yeah, exactly. They just hire like some fucking assassin to like make an example of do not make mistakes that endanger the profits of rich people.
Well, it's like isn't like the current chip shortage partially attributed to the Ever Given?
Yes, partially, but also it's a whole like the global logistics are fucked right now because of that, and also because of COVID in general, and also because of other reasons.
There were so many people speculating on what was on there because there are shortages of so many things. There was like shortages of dragon dildos, and
it's like
people were like, "Oh shit, they're on the
lolly body pillows."
No, unironically, some of my mail came a lot slower those couple of weeks.
Well, Heinz, if you tickle the balls a bit more, then it'll come.
No, it wasn't like that sort of thing. But literally, shit came slower for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought the City of Mist books, and they were supposed to arrive in like 3 weeks, and I ended up waiting for them for 3 months because they had a lot of problems with various shippers. But they were not on the Ever Given. That would have
been really fucking funny.
That would have made them pretty valuable, I think.
Well, it's like
were a package from England once, and then the day it should have arrived, they said there were holdups on the border because of COVID.
Yeah.
One of the dragon dildos on the ship is probably going to end up being like kept in a nice glass case in the London School of Economics or something.
Well, it's like I know, like because of the truck I drive, it's a Volvo truck, and even though it's built in the U.S., it has a lot of components that come from Volvo in Sweden, and they've actually had parts shortages over here because of lack of components.
How about
due to COVID and that.
How about it's Volvo, but it's Volva instead?
But then they have to change. They have to change the logo because the logo has like logo is like the. Well, no, the logo is like the male symbol. The circle with the arrow. They have to change the logo.
Like you just put a pocket pussy on the front of all of the cards.
Are you saying that that women cannot have vulvas? That men cannot have vulvas? That's racist.
A Volvo symbol is actually a very old symbol for iron. Well,
more like ironic. But yeah, there's a lot of problems. Like the whole logistics system was not as stable as the average person thinks, and now like there's a lot of shit that just is going wrong, and it's proving more resilient than like the worst case scenarios.
As being a cog in that whole logistics systems, I can tell you, it's because everything is just in time. It's like you get instead of like a company just like ordering a shitload of parts and just having them there and using them when they need it. They order the parts just in time, so everything and in the normal situation where everything's working right and everything's like working like clockwork, it works fine. But as soon as anything happens, like COVID or Ever Given, it just fucks everything up.
Yeah. It's cheaper. Except for the toilet paper shortage, there was never a toilet paper shortage. It was literally
a shelf space shortage. It's the first item to look like it's going because it's big.
Well, the difference is that restaurant toilet paper is just a little bit different from home use toilet paper.
Yeah,
and that's why.
Well, it's
Speaking of which, I'm surprised that crates of booze didn't disappear at a faster rate. Seems like it would make more sense.
Yeah, but like, I mean, people are not as worried about booze as they are toilet paper.
Yeah, and worst comes to worst, you could just like distill your own.
I mean,
it's not that hard.
But no, but like the whole thing about toilet paper is just like some people in Australia thought that there was no longer going to be toilet paper, which is complete bullshit.
And then people in the United States were like, oh, if it could happen there, it could happen here.
Yeah, sure. Just like everywhere, and then people just bought a fuck ton of toilet paper.
Well, it's like when the pipeline in the southeast was reported like it got hacked and was shut down, and everybody was like, oh fuck, and just went out and bought a shit ton of gasoline, and then we had a gasoline shortage, even though it was never going to be an issue.
Yeah. I mean, that's but those things, like, the system recovers from those things. It's not it's an inconvenience for a while, but then it's fine.
Yeah.
Ah, god damn it. Yeah. Cool.
I'm honestly surprised more people didn't like destroy their cars or get killed in fires because of that, because it's like so many people were just like filling up like Tupperware bins and like garbage bags with gasoline.
What?
Yeah. Didn't you see the videos?
No.
Yeah, there were like videos going around of people with fucking garbage bags full of gas in the.
I did see one thing where it's like a guy who's like filling up his tank in his car. And like this might have been in Russia, but like this like van pulls up and guys with ski masks step out and start to move towards him, and he just raises like the fucking thing and he just like sprays them with gasoline, and he
fills the inside. Yeah, he fills like the inside of the van with gasoline.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that was in South America. I don't know if that was in Russia.
Might have also been. I
I
did. Yeah, I just saw this under the Russia tag on an image board that I'm in.
I mean, it's something that would happen in Russia.
Yeah, but also in South America, which is this is like the kind of situation where usually you'd have, you know how like in Russia often there's this genre of Russia videos where just the craziest shit is happening, and it's just very like extremely chill Russian country music that's playing. And
The
just
best-
all of the people just there as cars are exploding around them are just so incredibly relaxed.
The best
Do you
video
remember
of
the
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think yeah. The city that No Fuckers is from, I forgot the name of it, where the meteor hits.
Yeah.
Just that
Oh,
one
man.
dash cam video of the dude like driving to work in the morning, and it's like he's just cruising along, and you just see the meteor start streaking across the sky and getting brighter and brighter, and all he does is he just lowers his visor and just keeps going as like the meteor just goes across the sky.
It's just there's a certain dejection that Russian people have. You just
I
don't
remember that
find
video when somebody walks up to another guy that parked really weird, and he's just sawing off.
Oh yeah, he's
with
just
an angle
sawing
grinder.
off
He's
a bit of,
sawing off
of the
part
car.
of a car.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah,
He looks like a high school teacher. This guy who just gets out a motor saw and just saws off a part of the guy's car.
Yeah.
Have you seen the dash cam video that's taken from a parked car, and then there's like this little, I don't know, Nissan Micra or some shit that goes past, and there's just a guy stood on the front window, fucking kicking it in as it's moving.
That's some movie level shit.
Oh man,
Exceedingly
There's
based.
a lot of there's so much shit that I have seen on the internet that really happened that I couldn't put in the book because people would say it's unrealistic.
There's another Russian dashcam video where it's another dude driving along the road, and he just like comes to a stop in the middle of the road, and you just see a runaway T-54 tank just fly across the road, and then he just starts driving again.
I mean, what else are you supposed to do? The tank is gone.
It was the T-72. Wait, have you seen the one where they're going down the highway and there's like this shit bucket type car? It looks like a Reliant. You know the car from Only Fools and Horses?
No.
It looks like that.
The
You're not British,
three-wheeler?
I forgot. Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
the tire comes off and it just starts like spitting out sparks. Like oh, the tires came off, and then it starts like leaving a fucking trail of pluming flames, and the video is called "Bliat to the Future."
That is also like
God
the
damn.
wildest shit when like they get into a car crash, like right there's a car crash, they flip around several times, then fly off a bridge, through a hole in another bridge, slither across like a lake of ice, find a ramp and fly over a different highway, and then land at like a bay of hail, and it's like blood. And that's the entirety of the reaction.
Bliat.
Not even that. It's like just blood. It's just
It's
he's
just
not even
Russian
excited about it.
stoicism.
Hi, Bliat.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, suka bliat.
Yeah. There's another video where somebody's they left their UAZ like SUV broke down on the railroad track, and it gets run over by a train, and the dude's just like, "Suka."
There's also there's a very nice contrast provided by Russians who just freak the fuck out. I once saw one by it's just this kid whose car broke down in the middle of nowhere, and he had no proper cell phone reception. And like literally, it's just this enormous plain in the middle of Siberia with this like endless road, just this green plain, but right next to the car is like a very creepy cemetery, just in the middle of nowhere.
Oh wait, did you see did you see the one where they idiotically crashed a building, and
they like broke one of its foundations, and the whole thing just fell down, and they just run back laughing.
The fuck?
Legitimately, it's like an abandoned building in the middle of nowhere. Like it is literally surrounded by a field of green. Some guy just comes up with a hammer, smashes one of the foundations, and bam, everything falls.
That was what when I first got spin tires, and like in spin tires is basically just like off-road truck driving game simulator. It's like you go out and it's pretty good. But the thing that always amazed me was like, oh, you gotta go from this one logging camp to this lumber mill. And when you eventually get over to like the lumber mill, it's literally just the mill and these massive like 2 or 3 massive apartment blocks, like 20-story high apartment blocks. I'm like, is this real? And it's like, yeah, it's real. They just do that.
Really?
In Russia. Yeah.
Let me see this, because that is the kind of shit. There is something that is I find extremely fascinating about like very like inner city buildings, but in the middle of like a skyscraper in the forest.
Well, Alaska, there's a town in Alaska where it used to be an army base, and then the army built two huge dormitories to house all their troops, and then the army base closed down, and the nearby town was like, you got these 2 huge dormitories, and they just ended up, the entire town moved into the dormitories. So in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness, there's these 2 like huge 10-story tall dormitories, and the entire town is in those 2 dormitories.
That is fucking wild. I do know that there is a city in Alaska where everyone lives in like the same building.
Yeah, it's just the same town. And yeah, they have like a hospital.
Oh yeah,
they have
Whittier.
like a Whittier. Yeah, that's it.
That is. It looks really cool too. Like that's a fascinating place.
Yeah, and it's like they have like, because they're such a small town, they have like enough room to where they do like hotel rooms, and it's like, yeah, and they that's like part of their like industry is just tourism, because it's like, yeah, we're a town that's inside a building.
Yeah.
In the middle of the Alaskan wilderness.
There is something fascinating about that.
I have a good one for you, Burger. Where should I put this? The studio booth, right?
Yeah, we're about to stop streaming too, because we're basically done. So this is gonna be the.
But that's in Pittsburgh here.
Yeah, but but this is in the middle of a city, you know.
Well, not really. It's in the middle of a suburb.
Okay, well, see, that's different again. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Well, anyway,
It's like they wanted to start us. Sorry.
Thank you all very much for watching this live stream. I'm going to stop now, and it has been nice. And see you around, cunts.
Yeah.
And there we